CONELRAD, our emergency broadcasting system, is designed to give life-saving instructions and information without giving enemy bombers signals that could guide them to targets.
This is a test. This is only a test. Local authorities have developed this system. This is only a test engages players in an uncertain time with an uncertain future. Players vie for 3 different types of supplies. In addition, players must uncover, influence, and manipulate the game timeline. This is only a test begins with a unique setup. The timeline drives the pace of the game towards an unknown ending that keeps players in suspense. In addition, players may visit City Hall to spread panic, gain knowledge, and change everyone's fate in the process. Will you stockpile heaps of supplies? Defend yourself to the teeth? Or simply profit from others' paranoia? The Red Army looms. The A-bomb is ready. Is it time to duck and cover? Or perhaps this is only a test.
All right, folks, so now we're going to walk you through a typical round, and this is only a test. And in this particular case, what we've done is we've set up to basically begin round 4. So as you look around the table, what you're going to see is we've already sort of accumulated different items. Each player is sort of already thinking about their end game. None of us really know how the game is going to end, but we do know that we only have one more round of safety before the game could potentially end in the invasion or the bomb. So what we're going to do also, just quickly look around the table. You'll see everyone has family members that they have in the middle in the provisions column. These are essentially who's available to do the negotiations. These family members will be put out on supplies to negotiate for new supplies to earn points towards the end game you think may happen. But we also use family members to go to City Hall to try to get powers to help influence the end of the game and potentially change the outcome of the game. So as panic phase leader in this case, what I'm going to do is walk us through the first part of the round. So panic phase. The first thing we're going to do at the beginning is we're going to flip the panic card, the next one in the timeline. In this case, it's round 4, and we're going to flip it, and it says DEFCON 3. The number is what's important here. The 3 in DEFCON allows us all to move our family members 3 down any item that we are currently shopping for. So at this point, this particular phase, the panic phase, is over with the end of the event, and it moves over to the negotiation phase.
As the negotiation phase leader, I will flip it over and read step 1, which is to play supply cards.
If you go last, the negotiation phase goes in clockwise order. That puts me first, so I'm going to have to place my family member first and negotiate for one of these. I do like this peanut butter. I do think maybe the bomb is more imminent than we thought previously, so I'm going to take a bet there and go for the Pixie Pan peanut butter.
All right, so I'm looking around and I see that Doug's only got 2 left. It's really going to be me and Davin in control here, but Davin has the last, so I'm going to go ahead and try to sneak in and put my stake on City Hall steps.
I was hoping you weren't going to notice that.
I will go ahead and put one on the cereal.
Yeah, good cereal. I cannot, in good conscience, let Carl get away with that City Hall steps, so I'm actually going to challenge him for those. You can see we're tied right now, so in the case of a tie, neither of us would get the power.
Right, typical Doug trying to block me, but I know he can't actually win this, so I'm going to go ahead and put my second family member and be winning City Hall steps again.
I just made you pay for it, so.
I'm going to go ahead and steal the gas mask.
Meanwhile, while we're fighting over City Hall, Davin is over here grabbing all the supplies he possibly can. So I have a choice with my final family member here. I can still try to beat Carl on City Hall, but the odds of that are pretty slim.
Seems like a waste.
It does. I think I'm actually going to double down on the cans of peanut butter, seeing how I would really like that. And
I was going to steal that from you.
Yeah, good. So, good. I'm going to double down on keep my peanut butter.
All right, so I know I'm going to get some sort of information since I'm pretty sure Davin won't block me on City Hall. At least I think so. I'm going to go ahead and try to block him from scooping up too much of this stuff.
What?
I like that.
Anchor down.
All right, Doug's out at this point. I have to decide, do I block again? Which I think I'm going to do that. I don't want him getting both. Let's make him pick one.
Sure you don't want to?
I'm going to go ahead. I've changed my mind. I'm going to look for information at... no, I'm going to look at the sheriff's office.
All right.
I I do like the mayor's office. I'll take that.
All right, excellent.
All right, so it's the end of the negotiation phase. At this point, what we do is we look around and we decide, we can kind of tell who's won each individual item. So in this case, we can all take the cards that we've won.
Yep, so I won the peanut butter.
And got the gas mask.
So with the peanut butter, I will take one of the family members I used to gain that, and I will put that family member at the start section of that card, and that will start his journey down to getting the peanut butter over to my provisions.
Get out of here.
His extra meeple goes back into the available pool, which is important.
Yep.
This unclaimed item goes into the discard pile.
And this was a tied one, so that comes back to your provisions.
Yep. Now we go into City Hall, and we go clockwise around City Hall. So in this case, Davin has won the mayor's office, which allows him to add or remove a panic card from any timeline space.
Bum. Take a bomb card and put it on round 5.
You got it.
Try not to peek at it this time.
I didn't see a thing.
Okay.
All right, so at this point, I can look at any pile and review it. That's what the sheriff's office space allows me to do. So seeing how crazy 5 is right now, and it's the next round, I'm going to take a peek.
Watch his face, Davin. Watch
Put
his
my
face.
best poker face on.
Yeah.
Yep, nothing to worry about.
No? Sure.
Nothing.
You're not worried about
I'm
it?
not worried about it.
Okay.
All right, and I also have one, in this case, City Hall steps. Davin, you can have your family member back. I'll take these.
That's me.
That City Hall steps, this allows me to actually pick any one of these 3. So seeing how things are going, and now that I know what's in round 5, I'm going to go ahead and look at the invasion pile at the end. I can look at the top 2 cards. Again, poker face on. That's interesting. I'm going to switch the order of those cards, and I'm going to put them back. That could have been some sort of bluff, or who knows, really. All right, so now I've seen those 2 cards. I put them back where I wanted, and this concludes the round.
That's phase 2. So that includes phase 2, all right? And now we're on to phase 3. So I'm the scramble phase leader for phase 3. First thing we're going to do in phase 3 is purchase equipment. So this is the point where we can purchase any equipment that is within the 5 and dime here. Step 2 is to stockpile supply cards. Stockpiling supply cards is where you're going to move your cards from your provisions area to your fallout shelter. When you move that card over, you'll get double points when it's in your fallout shelter. It's important to do at least a few times during the game to get those extra points for the win condition. In this case, I'm actually going to choose to stockpile last, because I want to see what everyone else at the table is going to do first before I stockpile any of my cards. So Carl, you're first. All
right, cool. So again, given what I've seen, I'm going to kind of slyly try to put my motorcycle boots into my stockpile.
The ones with the 20 value in
I already forgot.
Consumables? Yeah, don't even recall. Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and put the drinking water into my stockpile.
Excellent, excellent. So I did notice that both of those cards were 20 consumable. This one's 30, so when I stockpile this, I know I'll be ahead if that bomb does drop in round 5. All right, excellent. So that is stockpiling our supply cards. Next, we'll reassign leaders, right? So one would ask, why wouldn't I just stockpile all of my cards all the time? Well, the answer is we now are going to reassign these phase leaders. We're going to reassign these phase leaders based on the items you have in your provisions. So the person with the most consumables in their area will actually get the phase 1 leader. Currently, none of us have any provisions because we just stockpile them all. So Carl, you're going to keep that card. So you're going to be phase 1 leader. We're going to then look at the negotiation phase leader. The negotiation phase leader goes to the person with the most self-defense items, and Davin has that lovely leather jacket worth 50 of those points, so he will keep the negotiation phase leader. Then we'll look at the scramble phase leader, phase 3, and we'll look at the person with the most wealth. Now, I actually still have no wealth. Carl does have a little bit of dollars left there on his World War II GI helmet. He's got $15 there, so he will actually become the scramble phase leader as well. So in round 5, Carl will both be phase 1 and phase 3 leader for the game.
All right, that's it, right? So this concludes a single round. At this point, round 4 is over, and going into round 5, the mystery becomes what is in that pile in the timeline. The game could end, theoretically. I have some knowledge there, but...
theoretically?
Yeah, possibly.
Possibly.
Yeah, and from here, the game will continue throughout the timeline unless we hit an endgame condition before we get to round 9.
If we make it through all of those cards on round 9, then again, we'll be at the point where this is only a test and the person with the most luxury items will win. All right, so that concludes our How to Play video. Please let us know if you have any questions in the comments. Take care, guys.